Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm popanimecomics from popanimecomics.com and the Pop Anime Comics Lounge. It's a podcast where I interview people in the comic, wrestling, voice actor, and cosplay community. And I'm doing this completely free. I make no money from this, so I will put all my links that you can definitely check out to support me, including Patreon, iTunes, SoundCloud, my website. Follow me on Twitter and my Facebook page. So let's just dive right into it here. So, Attack on Titan Season 2, Episode 27. Big idea here is it's all about Sasha, and it's about her background and her life and how she's returning to her village and she saves this girl from being killed by a Titan as the entire village has left her mother to die, essentially. And so Sasha winds up going to save this girl, and she runs into her father, and we get her entire backstory about how humanity has to unite in this idea of giving up your forest to produce more grain so more people will be fed. So that's really what happened. Sasha winds up saving the girl, and everything's fine, and she reunites with her father, and her father's like, "You're the person I always wanted to be." So the big idea to take from this, and it's kind of foreshadowing of what's about to happen in Attack on Titan, is this concept that humanity is a whole. And that in some instances in Sasha, her father's saying, "I'm thinking about giving up my land and cutting down this entire forest and the way we live so that humanity can grow grain and we can all live together and more people can thrive." And it's that concept that humanity has to unite as a whole to deal with their current situation. And this is a theme that we're seeing a lot more in Attack on Titan, where humanity has to some degree united as a whole to face off these titans, but at the same time, they've also are somewhat divided, as we see with the military police, lack of information, and it's this concept of throwing that idea out there. And we see it on a very small scale, as Sasha's father in her flashback is basically saying that, hey, I'd be willing to give up my land if I could live with my family in peace. And so that's the big idea here, is that it's really a major foreshadowing of what is to come and what is needed for humanity to survive in this environment and thrive, for lack of a better word. And that's why this episode is actually crucial, because Sasha and her interactions with her dad represent that on a very micro level. But it's also on a bigger level where you take it from the smallest perspective and you can see how humanity is not at that point yet. And that's what Erwin is trying to achieve with his Survey Corps, is that's exactly what he's trying to achieve, is to unite humanity to face off against a threat that is ultimately going to more or less kill them. And so that's really interesting when we actually analyze this and then we start to stack it up on other episodes. Obviously, there's only 2 out so far of the anime, and obviously the manga is way, way ahead here. And we're not going to dive into the manga per se, but when you start to stack up this idea of humanity not uniting with the previous episode, you start to say, okay, there's a divide in the government, but on a smaller scale, people at least have a common idea that they need to unite to survive. And that idea is thrown out. And that's what this episode really deals with, and we see this concept. So it's really fascinating. It's a great episode because it shows this big idea of, okay, humanity is collectively together in this small confine, despite it being a large, relatively city-state, they're still in there, and how sometimes things have to be sacrificed, such as cutting down a forest where a lot of grain can be grown that could feed more people so that people can live in peace and not be hungry. And that's really what this is dealing with, and that idea of humanity is collective. And when you're in a dire situation where there's war and you're kind of on the brink of extermination here, which is where they are, sometimes sacrifices need to occur so that things thrive and that humanity can somewhat be restored. So that's really the big idea here, is this collective grouping of people together to fight or deal with a threat is the takeaway of this episode. And that's the big idea here. So So thank you for watching. As always, I can be found on popanimecomics.com. I also can be found on Pop Anime Comics Lounge. It's my podcast. It's completely free. I have a patron. Running a podcast is not easy to do. So definitely think about supporting it because it allows me to bring you videos like this. It allows me to continue the podcast. It allows me to continue writing on my website. I got a bunch of cool perks. Do a lot of cool panels. They all go up there. But you got to pay for those. It's $2. And I'm also going to probably be having some bonus episodes of the podcast coming out, as well as just some sneak peeks, and those are going to probably be at $1 or a $3 range, depending on what they are. So definitely check that out, and that's all coming out in the next few months, as well as I might be making some special videos of certain things and talking to other cool people and a bunch of other stuff, and that's all reward stuff too, as well as I got a bunch of cool perks if you would like. So definitely check it out. Links are down below, and definitely consider supporting because I make no money from this. I like to do it, but it's not easy, and it requires a lot of time from all of my things, and you, the viewer, can definitely help out. $24 a year is really gets you a bunch of cool stuff, gets you a bunch of cool access, and really helps to support this. Every dollar counts. And just to put that in perspective, that's 25 cents a week. So, if you go and buy a pack of gum every week, 25 cents a week isn't that bad. Even for $1, you get a bunch of cool stuff. So definitely consider that, and thank you for listening, and I would love to hear your opinions on Attack on Titan and what you think is going on.